God, now every oh.
Oh,
Uh,
I,
uh
I'm just like skimming this story. It has an odd bit of potential.
hello, don't you asshole, don't read ahead. Hello everyone, it's Vince 12 saying it again. Welcome back to Random Posture Critiques. I'm here with the Overanalyst from taking a break from his college work and whatnot. Say hello.
Oh, hey there, everybody. This will probably be your last time seeing me anywhere not on the Blue Majora channel for a long while. So
He's going to Asia Land.
I am
Like
hoping
where
it. Okay.
there are flying blocks with question marks everywhere and evil turtles and mushroom people.
That's right. Also, that's most university campuses around Saturday night.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of mushrooms. I
Oh, uh,
Okay, this story, we're going to be doing two if this one is too short.
it.
This one is Jacko, the Very, Very Bad Clown, and it is written by, let me go down, uh, Dr. Bleed, which is, that should be a metal name. That sounds like something that would be, if Motorhead ever had a replacement for Lemmy, which I don't think they will, then that sounds like
Yeah.
name of a replacement.
I'd like to point out what a terribly unfortunate title this is.
Why? Oh, because of the Michael Jackson thing.
Yeah. Well, let's go, folks. Shimon and
Well, it could be Gacy the Very Bad Clown, which wouldn't be an inaccurate title. He wasn't a very good clown.
no. Or it could be DSP, the very bad gamer.
No, that's just a really that title's too on the nose. It's kind of redundant actually. Jacko was a very very bad clown. Okay, that's it. The story over. There's no real suspense. The story's awful.
Well, ho- hold on. There is a bit of an. I think they're trying to set a tone with how they phrase this, so let's give it a little bit longer just in case.
Jacko wasn't funny. Jacko wasn't cute. Jacko didn't make children laugh, smile, or feel safe, motherfucker.
I just picture Jacko like curled up in his bed, like muttering all this to a mirror while he like pounds his head into it.
Nah, just imagine this old like a clown with barely any makeup on, 5 o'clock shadow, smoking a cigar, like ranting to a kid who's just confused as hell. Jacko made children uncomfortable and afraid. Jacko made children grossed out. Jacko made children feel sad. Nobody liked Jacko, and Oh, for a second I thought it was misspelled. Jacko knew it all too well.
Yeah, this does make sense. He's like just ranting and raving to a soccer mom on her way out of the big top.
Covering her son's ears to make sure he doesn't swear at him.
Hey, look, you fucking listen to Jacko.
I'm talking to you, lady.
Jacko didn't want any of this shit. Jacko was gonna be a dentist.
I was gonna go to college. Fucking clown college. They wouldn't take me because I drink too much. Fuck you. But it wasn't his fault. Jacko wanted to be a funny clown. But Jen,
Jonah Galoshios.
thank you. I'm bad with names and reading names a lot. Jonah Galacio's traveling circus had lots of funny clowns.
Here we go.
Cosmo, Peanut, Benny, Ice Cream, Uncle Woody, and even Little Willie. That little fucker Willie. Even Little Willie's better than you, Jacko. You
No,
suck.
no, but look, it's Woody and Willie next to each other. Really?
I think that's kind of they come out riding like unicycles that happen to be just longer than everyone else's, and Little Willie's is smaller.
Yes, there you go.
This welcome to the Freudian circus. They were all happy clowns, and they loved making children laugh and smile. Jacko wanted to be like them. He wanted to make children laugh and smile too, but they never did. Not once.
Wait, hold on. That should be, but he never did. We already got a grammar screw up here.
Hmm.
Get it? He wanted to make children laugh and smile too, but they never did. Should be, he never did because he never made them.
Eh.
Uh,
I'll give a little bit leeway to that because I think
yeah,
most people kind of blend, like, kind of ignore that one, or not
yeah,
notice it at the very least.
split straws, but I mean, I got to get something here because grammar's my thing, and so far this is actually done fairly decently.
I speak words good. The children didn't ever, uh, the children didn't ever laugh at Jacko's jokes. Something about that sentence is worded awkwardly.
Um. Oh dear. Again, this
You could
title
have
is
just said,
really
you could have just
unfortunate.
said never. Never laughed at his
Yeah.
jokes. Yeah. The children hated Jacko's smile. Is this like the opposite of what was it, Dropsy? Where basically
Yeah.
everyone just fucking hates him?
I think so. Wait a minute though. I want to say the story has a little bit of promise here because it's establishing a narrative device. It is telling the events through us again through third person, but with the mindset of the clown through it, showing it's kind of this.
It has some
So
personality to it.
yeah, it's kind of volatile, but at the same time very very infantile.
It's kind of restrained, where it sounds like someone's trying to keep themselves calm.
Yeah.
The children hated Jacko's smile. He never had a single child ever smile back at him. His grin never felt real. It was always so forced, so painful looking. He didn't ever really look happy, and the children could tell. They would scream, and they would and they would cry and shout.
Okay, so to be clear, instead of was there some kind of mix up and instead of a clown they hired like some kind of like shark?
I'd still say it's probably just like John Wayne Gacy was forced to go out of hell for his like even the devil doesn't like him, so he has to do community service, and that's the only thing he knows how to do.
Wait, or maybe this is like some kind of like a Sahagin they've just dolled up in clown makeup.
Like one of the fucking sand people from Star Wars.
Uh, speaking
That's
of
my
which,
nerd comment. Like, comment, subscribe.
speaking of which, you don't really need to pay for Young Thug anymore. You could just have Tusken Raider sound effects over the beat. It works just as well.
Well, yeah, that would be appealing.
It would actually.
At least it's not a falsetto.
Okay,
They
well,
would, Mister
Galatio.
Mr. Galatio would have to, excuse me, have to make Jacko leave the stage. Jacko hated being a bad clown. He hated that he couldn't make people laugh and clap and be happy. Well, you know, it's the funny thing about that last sentence is if he had done it with just, laugh, comma, quote, clap, it kind of would have actually hurt the narrative.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah, no, it actually it's showing intentionally or otherwise that we are seeing a bit of character and personality in the narration, and everything to do with this clown does seem to have a very childlike mindset, and that's how a child would put it.
The other the other clowns loved Jacko, and he loved the other clowns back. There weren't many people who liked clowns anymore, only the children who still come to the circus. Well, clowns aren't what they used to be. Now they have less makeup, as you can see.
Yeah, and also children generally don't like clowns all that much. A lot of children are very frightened of them.
Well, because of man, it touches on that uncanny valley at a young age.
Yeah. Now me, I like clowns as a child.
I like clowns because I thought they were creepy when I was a kid.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I always thought they looked kind of cool, like the ones with the full elaborate costuming.
I bear in mind one of the first horror movies I watched was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is so awesome. Wait, you can't make killer shadow puppets. Get away from me. Where's your acid pies? They
Trust
weren't.
me, we read creepypasta from time to time. We've seen more than enough folks under the effect of acid pies.
What does it say about the creepypasta wiki, where Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a lot scarier, and it's a horror comedy film that not even close to scary, but it's more frightening than most of these people's attempts at making scary killer clowns.
Fucking Fun in Balloon Land was more frightening.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is more frightening. I say that
Oh
and
my
I
God.
never. I say that I never saw that.
I might push it too far, but Fear for the Xbox 360 is more frightening than this.
Oh God, man, why? They were like a family. Oh, sorry. So clowns have to stick together. Man, I know you, man. It's like they're walking by, like, hey, what's up, my clown? Yeah, clown life.
No, they all roll together in like the little tiny car.
Like drive-bys on mimes with like balloon guns. They were like a family. And why don't people need to make more creepypastas about mimes? Mimes are kind of creepy too.
Yeah, they're even creepier, I would say, or they have the potential to be.
Yeah, I don't see enough because like even Courage the Cowardly Dog, that one-off joke where he's imagining all those monsters and at the end of the line's a mime.
Yeah,
I love that spit. We're like a family, and the only real family Jacko ever had in his life. The other clowns cared about Jacko and loved him unconditionally, even if he was a bad clown. That's what good clowns do. They love people. They never hurt people. That are you? This is no true Scotsman's fallacy, Mister.
yeah.
No real clown would ever hurt a person. What about John
I,
Wayne
I'm,
Gacy?
I, just to be clear, no, 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 no. If what I've seen is true, real clowns. Let's see. It goes like this: perform, drink, 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 perform, drink,
Perform,
cry,
drank,
drink.
perform, drank, cried, drank, swallowed, drank, pills, drank, depression, drank.
No, I mean it's amazing. Truly, their cup floweth over with vomit.
They they make the circus a happy place to be. For some
Just
people, not
not.
really.
No, not at all.
There were many different types of clowns. There were the entertainers that make people laugh and smile. There were their foils and sidekicks who had to be the butts of their jokes.
And then there were the clownlings, where if you construct a base and make enough of them early on, you can do a clown rush and just completely wipe out your opponent before the game is 5 minutes in.
Or you could do, I don't know, Doink the Clown and his Doink Dink and the other midget clowns that no one remembers. That was a
Yeah,
wrestling joke. Like, comment, subscribe. There were the sad clowns who made people cry. I'm half tempted to put the Doink the Clown's creepy clown theme at this video to make it work even better.
go for it.
It did, yeah, it was just the beginning of that song, and then it's just creepy music while evil laughter in the background. And bear in mind, it was the whole gimmick of that character was he was a clown that liked to make kids cry,
Great.
and he once beat a man with a prosthetic leg. That was awesome.
I think I remember that actually.
Matt Bourne's dead though. Rest in peace. That was the original Doink. There were
All
sad
right, so we're
there were sad clowns who
bad,
made cry, and then there were bad clowns. The
and then there
clown
were fire type clowns, psychic clowns, fighting clowns.
and the OP dragon clowns.
That's right.
I want to see a clown. The new Yu-Gi-Oh card, Clown Dragon. That sounds like something Pegasus would have. He had Parrot Dragon.
I, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah, not far off.
The clowns nobody liked. The clowns that couldn't even be psychics because everyone was so afraid of them. Jacko, of course, was a bad clown. Mr. Galicio, did I say it right?
Yeah,
Okay, Galicio.
Galosio.
Galosio hated Jacko more than the children did. He wanted Jacko gone, or at the very least never allowed to perform again, then fire him.
Yeah, you're a circus. I don't think you have exact like federal procedures you need to follow for
I'm
this.
just imagining like, well, we need to get the cannon cleaned out before we can fire him out of it. And that's gonna take a while, so I gotta put up with this motherfucker. That's how clowns get fired. True fact.
Yep.
You come to Blue Majora for fun facts and trivia. Don't use them in school, though.
No.
After all, Jacko scared children and upset them, and it was costing him money. Money was everything to Mr. Galatio. And if you got between it and him, you were his enemy.
Right. So
So,
this like I'm about to start hearing, like I don't know, maybe Jacko and the other bad clowns, they are wanted by Mr. Galosio for a crime they didn't commit, and then they promptly escape from a maximum security clown stockade to the Los Angeles underground.
I don't know why, but the way you described, I thought you were gonna describe the plot to Freaks. Like,
No, it was the A Team intro.
Freaks is one of my favorite movies, by the way. You should go watch it. Unfortunately, that movie kind of killed because the guy who made it was the one who directed Dracula, and that killed his career
Oh,
because people were kind of weirded out by seeing these people on screen at the time. They're sad because they were cool. Mr. Galatian. Okay, what was it? But the other clowns were having none of it. As you know, clowns have to stick together. Something about that actually did kind of strike me as kind of creepy.
look at the next sentence.
If you get rid of one clown, then you gotta get rid of all of them. uh, and again, this goes back to I'm just imagining Mr. Galatio sitting in his office writing up like his releasement papers, and then he gets a knock on the door, and he just looks up, and all these clowns standing there with like weapons in hand, smoking cigars. So,
Like wearing pinstripe suits with a real frilly collar around.
hmm
Oh,
and the one in the middle just puts out his cigar with his hand. I heard you was, I heard you were gonna let go our good friend. The clown family kind of frowns upon that, if you catch my drift. Mr.
well, I
Gale.
mean, not actually, cause like the smile's painted on, but like underneath this, yeah, we're frowning on that.
It'll be a shame if you woke up tomorrow and had a little accident with a cream pie in the face. It's like he wakes up and there's like a balloon animal of a horse's head in his bed.
No, kept up all hours of the night through like a really tiny pinprick lights through his window and like the honking of an air horn.
And he looks outside and he sees one of them with a club in his hand just going, "Go back to sleep, boss."
No, so somebody douse him in gasoline from a flower.
I'm just imagining also a penguin style gun in the umbrella thing.
Yeah.
Here, boss, let me get a light. It's just like a lethal, explosive cigars you would see in Looney Tunes, except it blows his whole head off.
Tie him to actual carved cement huge clown shoes.
I'm trying to think of.
What it's about now.
Okay, let's keep going. I'm trying to figure out a clown version of a Colombian necktie. I can't think of it. I'm not clever enough. Look that up if you want to see something really fun, kids. After all,
Okay.
what? It's a tie from Colombia. What? After all, we get rid of clowns. Where were we? Mr. Glacio knew that he couldn't run a circus without clowns. I beg to differ. So he had to let Jack. You could just find people who are like contortionists and tell them to dress up.
Yeah, that would work.
I'm not saying that I don't want to offend the clowns listening. So I'm not saying that you can be easily replaced. I'm not saying that hire union clowns. Okay.
No, I mean, as we just established, we really don't want to insult the clown percentage of our audience.
I don't want to come off as clownist. There was just no okay. So he had to let Jacko stay. There was just no question. Jacko hated being.
Where were we?
You would think that. No, I'm right here. Jacko hated. Okay, wait. Let me see. Let me see. Back. Okay, Jacko hated being a bad clown. Right? Jacko hated being a bad clown.
Jacko hated being a bad clown.
We've established this. He hated scaring people. He hated making them upset. He wanted the circus to be a happy place. Clowns especially had to be happy. If the circus was supposed to be happy, excuse me. After all, if people who were supposed to make you laugh couldn't even smile, how could you? Are we getting...
Okay, look,
keep your philosophy in your college campuses, you fancy damn clowns.
In a
Go on. Oh,
in, in a troupe of some few dozen people, do you really think one poor performer would ruin it for everybody?
not just that, but the way that they describe this guy, money is his enemy. So he
Right,
only,
that's how it works.
so the only way he cares about money is you'll think that he will operate like, even the like the freaks. That movie kind of established that there's some kind of hierarchy there to some degree. Like, don't fuck with these people.
Yeah,
Don't fuck with a stage performer because they treat it like a serious business. I was like, what is your ah? If I fire this one guy, I care about money and care so little about life so much that I'm not gonna fire this one guy because it's gonna upset my other performers.
yeah.
It's kind of contradictory. Maybe that's the idea. I don't know. Uncle Woody told Jack whenever he was having a bad day, he needed to make himself happy so he could perform, and just thought of a he just and he, what he needed to make himself happy so he could perform. He just thought of a happy memory to perk him up, like got married, or when his son was born, or his first kiss, or even a silly little thing, a silly thing like a funny TV show or payday. A funny payday?
Yeah. Well,
Like what is that when? What is that when like your check is put inside a firecracker and explodes in your face and there's your check?
or is that when, like, I don't know, Jimmy Fallon personally hands you your pay?
Jimmy Fallon and funny don't go together.
Yeah, you're right. He's more amiable than anything.
Yeah, he's like not Adam.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's try this. It's like Larry giving you your paycheck.
I don't know what that is. Sorry.
He took over for Stephen Colbert on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
He was one of the first really big comedians to go after Bill Cosby.
Ah. Oh, that one that pretty much said something like, yeah, well, if you pull your pants up, yeah, well, you rape people.
Yep, that was him, I think.
Like when he got married or when his son was born or his first. Okay, we've been over this. But Jacko couldn't do that because he didn't have any happy memories. He doesn't have any happy memories, but he's surrounded by people who love and care about him.
I know, right? It's like I've seen this happen, especially back when I was in high school. Folks who would complain about how alone and how they didn't have any friends, to all their friends sitting there listening to them.
Were they emo?
No, actually.
They were just. I don't know. Depression's weird because I think that's an actual psychological ailment that they might have.
Yeah.
Not saying it's debilitating because every time I suggest something like that, is always this kind of mentality where I'm not insane or mentally ill. No one said you were. It's a condition.
No,
It's different.
not just that, but also remember this was high school, so it wasn't necessarily a mental thing.
Yeah. Well, you kind of contradict yourself.
All right, let's keep going here. Character development.
Jacko's life before the circus wasn't very happy. When he was a child, he was found in a cornfield by a man in an alien spaceship.
Yes, that's right. He is Clown L.
No, that was a Dropsy reference. Oh god, I spoiled that. Shit. Sorry.
Don't care.
That was a spoiler from the game. Don't listen. Before the God, I hate myself. Before the circus, okay, when he was a child, his parents were very sad people. His father was a bad, bad man who liked to hit his mother and scream all sorts of nasty, foul things at her. For once, can it be a mother that beats the father? I'm sick of this cliche.
Um, look, to be honest, having known enough folks who went through this kind of thing, this whole paragraph is actually kind of a.
I know.
Actually,
I know. I
it
just
is
want
pretty hard.
I just want someone to subvert that occasionally. I mean, I know it's not as bad as like I'm not saying it's a bad cliche, but it's like domestic violence seems to be the go-to button for instant sympathy.
Well, it is one of the easiest ways that a developing child's mind can be permanently scarred.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
short of abusing the child themselves, just being witness to regular abuse from one parent to the other, even if it's just verbal, can have a very harmful effect on the child's development in either the
To me,
primary or second developmental stages.
I don't know. To me, in some instances, I find because if you ground the story as much as you can in reality, that's something that can be related to, and this is something that's trying to do that. I would say that might be trying to go in that direction. But then there's another faucet when it comes to horror elements like that, like Nightmare on Elm Street, not Nightmare, Halloween, where Michael Myers was a frightening antagonist because there was no reason for why he was the way he was. It was just ignore the stupid sequels. Uh, it was just a child who there was just something genuinely evil and wrong in his head, and there was no legitimate reason for it. And at times I find the unknown aspect of that in a I find that more frightening than just a sympathetic backstory. Like the sequels to that, or the not spin-off, the remake of that, try to say, oh well, he had a bad childhood, that's why he's a serial killer. Well, if I can relate to him, I don't find him that scary.
Well, I'll put it like this: we know in reality, or at least most studies show, people do bad things for a reason. There is usually, a sympathetic backstory to actual people.
I will not. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Now, now I do agree with you that it's very, very cool, especially for like a 90-minute popcorn flick, like a horror movie, to have a faceless, basically a blank killer. I do think that's cool, and there's a lot you can work with there. Now, when I write personally, I love to write antagonists with more sympathetic backstories, or even something I've tried doing once or twice now. Have an antagonist that the audience is intended to relate to and sympathize with more than the protagonist
Now,
they're seeing.
I understand what you're saying. I'm speaking specifically on the horror genre. And
Oh, okay.
There's something genuinely to fear when it comes to it touches on the uncanny valley basically, where this is a genuine person. This is a person who we know that it's a human being, but something about him, just the absolute, he seems to be absolutely possessed with the single-minded goal of just killing killing you, and you don't know why. You can't reason with him. You can't argue with him. And that to me is even more frightening than someone that you can because when it comes to someone who's suffering from being a psychopath, like there is some bizarre chain of reasoning for what they're doing. It makes sense only to them, so you can
Now,
appeal to them to some degree, or you just have to figure out how, and that's difficult. But
now, if they are like say Michael Myers, what you're looking at there is actually a very radical form then of sociopathy.
yeah, you can't like. Why is he doing this? Because he can. What does it matter why he's doing it? Just run away from him, or try to get, just try to get as far away from him, or kill him. Because you can't reason with him, you can't argue with him. He's just become a basically giant walking force of nature.
And that in and of itself is pretty cool, especially for, as I said, a slasher film.
Yeah. Well, okay, let's get back to the story.
Okay.
We're kind of getting derailed here, and I want this to be a two-parter thing where we do another story. We'll probably just stop recording and go back into that. But let's get back to this.
All right.
Excuse me. He would beat her all day and all night, until his hands were too sore to hit anymore. So that's kind of productive.
Jesus.
I was like, how angry are you that you hit until you start hurting from it? Like well, it's like that song. What was it? My mind's playing tricks on me. Like my fists were all bloody from punching on the concrete.
Yeah,
Like,
you showed that ground.
yeah, take that, floor. She would scream and she would cry. She would cry. She would call for help, but no one ever came. My father was a drinker and a fiend, and one night he goes a little crazier than usual.
Oh dear.
How
Yeah, go ahead.
how would Jacko help? He was just a little boy. He was a
Okay.
little. Yeah.
As someone who I think I made it clear on my channel had a pretty idyllic childhood with wonderful parents and all such.
Yeah.
reading something like this, and especially when you hear about someone, you know, beating their children or being abusive at home or something like that, it's one of the very small handful of things that every time
It
will
kind of
elicit.
it triggers
A,
something with you.
yeah, it has a gut wrenching response for me. So yeah, this paragraph does put me in a state of legitimate emotional, mild distress, which is good. It's what you're going for
Yeah.
with horror.
Let me put
Uh,
it like me personally. I have very odd triggers where I don't like people screaming because going to I used to that was my kind of way to cope with like the school I went to and being picked on. I would have loud outbursts where I would shout so loud, basically like half the school could hear me, and then I would snap. And anytime I see some like in certain environments like that, like I was watching what was it, Scared Straight,
yeah,
and that's not the funnest show to watch.
no, it is not.
But them like one of the prisoners, the way he was screaming at a young boy, or one of those fake gangbangers. I found myself actually starting to cry, and I had no idea why. And it's like it's kind of some certain things emotionally. Like I don't have any real genuine experience in some areas, but it's
Right,
it's it's,
exactly.
it's a weird trigger sometimes.
Like I have no experience with this particular set of circumstances, and I think that's why it
Yeah,
it upsets me. Because I see, look at how fortunate I am, and then look at how somebody else, because of how they were raised or how their parents did them, they're completely fucked up. That's terrible.
but Jacko wasn't just upset that he couldn't make people laugh. He also hated all the bad guests that would come to the circus. Those people, the people who were rude, nasty, and mean. That's kind of redundant.
Not just that, but have you been around carnies?
I would not want to fuck with someone working at a carnival.
Oh hell no.
It's like that stereotype of them smoking cigars. They will fuck you up. Like that. We're not just joking here. A lot. Some of that is actually surprisingly true. The people who would shout at other guests and get into fights, what?
Yeah, I mean, no. Read the rest of this paragraph. It's like no holds barred. Got some
It's like
UFC
that,
stuff in
like
here.
that episode of The Simpsons with the soccer riot.
No, just keep going.
People would shout at other guests, get into fights, throw things at the clowns, and cuss at them. Mean teenagers, the mean teenagers, the drunk men, the grumpy old people.
You know what? I'm just gonna lay this out. Maybe the problem isn't the people. Maybe it's just that Jacko hates everybody.
And worst of all, bad children who didn't listen to their parents. Oh, Jacko really hated them. He was so jealous. Here these children were, with good parents who loved them, and they rejected them. They're kids, man.
Not just that, but you gotta understand. Even when children misbehave. Hold on, man. Actually, can we pause the recording right here?
Okay.
Uh, I am so sorry, but it looks like I'm being paged for work right now.
Oh, you gotta go?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, I'm gonna... You know what? I'm gonna put this on hold. This is gonna be a two-parter. How about that?
Great, and I'll
Well,
get back to you probably tomorrow.
alright, so this is gonna be part one. It'll be posted sometime afterwards. You'll see the part two of this. So, thanks for having me, Brady. Or thanks for letting me coming on here with me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. We'll see you next time with more fun with Jacko.
Yeah, it would have made sense if we didn't. We spent an hour talking. We spent 30 minutes doing the video.
Oh,
We
well,
had,
next time.
all right, talk to you later.
Take care.